Okay, so let's continue. So we continue. Hilchot Mishnah Torah, and we're on chapter what? Chapter number 5 and Halachah number 3. So, so let's read the whole Halachah without commentaries. Then we go back and do with commentaries and explanations and questions. If you have any questions, please ask. So number 3. If a person asks a student regarding a halachic question, and there are 12 mil between him and his teacher, he is permitted to answer. Okay. Furthermore, so we're talking about the respect that one must accord to his teacher. Furthermore, to prevent transgression, it is permitted to give halachic judgment even in the presence of one's teacher. Okay. What does the above apply? For example, one once sees a person perform a forbidden act because he is unaware of the prohibition or because he is a perversity. He should try to prevent him by telling him that is forbidden. This applies even if his teacher's presence, and in his teacher's presence, and even though one's teacher had not given him permission, right? So as we said last time, to teach someone or answer a question in front of your teacher, like third party, so it's disrespect to the teacher. Whenever this desecration of the God's name is involved, no deference is paid to the teacher's honor. That's, of course, there is a lot to say, okay, but we're going to comment later on. When does the above apply? With regard to the matter that came up incidentally. However, establishing oneself a halachic authority to sit and reply to all who ask concerning halachic matters is forbidden. Even if the student is at the one end of the world and the teacher at the other, until either teacher dies or the student receives permission from his teacher. Not everyone whose teacher dies is permitted to sit and render judgment concerning Torah law. Only the one whose student is worthy of rendering judgment. Of course, you understand there is a lot to add to what it says. I mean, not to add, but clarify. Okay, so Halachah from the beginning with commentaries. And so it says, if a person asks a student regarding a halachic question, and there are 12 meals between him and his teacher, he is permitted to answer. So meaning 12 meal, what is 12 meal? Commentary. A meal is 2,000 cubits, approximately a kilometer in modern measure. So approximately like 12 kilometers is I don't know, like 7 miles or so, 8 miles plus minus. Okay, so meaning it's a pretty big distance. So meaning that person would not go and ask the teacher whether it's too much too much of a bother for that person to go if the student is here and he can answer the question. So we're not talking about the situation when a student does not know. He does know, but he wants to give the honor to the teacher. That's the situation. This distance was derived from the measurement of the camp of Israel as they journey through the desert. So it's 12 by 12 mil, the whole camp of Israel. Very interesting. There are halachic questions. All halachic questions were posed to Moshe, as alluded by Exodus 33:7. All those who sought God would go to the tent of the meeting. Rashi Sanhedrin 5b. Okay. So everybody would go and ask a question to Moshe. It's very interesting, right? Because he actually taught other people. He taught Aaron, his brother. He taught elders. He taught Nadav and Avihu, right? Other people. But they would come and ask him a question. Okay. Exodus chapter 18 renders how Moshe appointed judges and to render halachic judgment concerning cases that did not require Moshe's knowledge. Nevertheless, since the judges were appointed by Moshe by divine decree, the judgment they render were permitted. So in this case, it's an absolutely totally different case. So Moshe himself appointed these judges, and plus they were stamped by HaShem, right? That those are kosher judges. So they were permitted to render judgment. So Moshe said, whatever you cannot decide, it's too much for you. Just send them to me. But other simple cases, you can judge. Okay, so they were given explicit permission from divine presence and of course from Moshe. Okay. So that's the connection. Okay, so in this case, if it's too much, as we said, 12 mil, so a student is allowed to answer the question. 29, even though he was not granted permission from teacher, as explained below. Okay, but as we said, many people, they're not going to ask somebody else. I mean, if you don't give them the answer, that's it. I'm talking to today. You give them an answer, or they're not going to ask. Okay, so even if you say I'm not an expert in this field, maybe you're going to go to the expert. But some people, you tell me what to do, otherwise I'm not going to do anything. That's why you have to become an expert.